Hi everybody, Elizabeth is back. I'm here again with another review, and if you don't know me well or unfamiliar with my childhood and every exposure I've had to all sorts and kinds of media just growing up, I've always been inspired by Craig McCracken's work, and notwithstanding this goes into Unicorn Warriors Eternal, and I absolutely loved every single second of this just incredible cartoon, and it is very unique. What I really like about it is the mythology that it uses, and I would love John Solo to actually take on this if he were interested in Arthurian myth, or what a lot of Anglophiles consider history. But honestly, I don't know. It's hard to say. I wonder if that actually happened, to be honest, because there's a saying, there's an adage that goes behind every myth or legend or lore, there's a kernel of truth, and I ascribe to that belief. But regardless, I really think that Unicorn Warriors Eternal did something unique within itself. And the animation is just absolutely glorious. It's very reminiscent of a lot of Flesher tunes and has that kind of style. It looks a lot like Astro Boy and combines it with the Flesher animation, kind of rubber hose a little bit. But I love the fact that it's steampunk, because steampunk is one of my all-time favorite genres, and you can see why. And there's so much to discover and unearth when you're using this instead of using diesel power, or I should say gasoline power, instead of you're using steam power for everything instead of using fossil fuels, which I thought is very different and stands on its own, definitely. It's not one of those shows that, well, there are tropes involved due to the mythology, but it makes itself stand out because there is a lot of an Eastern way of thinking in how Sang sees things, which I thought his vision, his the look into the future that he has is also something I've never seen done in a cartoon before. I love all the voice actors and actresses. I think everybody did a splendid job. Animation, like I said, that gets my highest regard and my highest rating. Pros, there are plenty of pros here. There are no negatives as far as I can see. As I've stated before, it deals with a lot of ideas that we're all familiar with if we're into legend and lore, especially that of Arthur and Merlin. I'm not going to say too much without giving it away, but there, of course, is a lot of Asian mythology and the whole Western mindset and mysticism that goes into this that make it different from anything else that's ever been created. And Craig McCracken, he is a consummate storyteller, that goes without saying. I was looking for Easter eggs to other shows, and it felt a lot like Primal, to be honest. It had that kind of same feel, and Primal's up there as one of my top 10 favorite animated shows of all time. I can't say too much without giving too much away, but the way it ended, and I'm relieved to know that there's a second season, but the way that he ended everything on a cliffhanger, I knew that was a hook to the fans, as to tell them, hey, stick around, we're not done, because there's just so much potential with Unicorn Warriors Eternal. and there's a little bit of something for everybody, and it's just a fun show, and it's also dealing with a lot of internal struggle with one of the characters in particular, and what she has to face. And I'm not going to say which character that is, but you probably already know who. But so far as rating the program, it's just easily 5 stars, hands down. No vetching, no complaining, no lags, no lulls, nothing. This is one story that segues so easily from one point to the next. It is one thing that holds your interest and captivates you and just pulls you in as a viewer, and you keep wanting to know, well, what's going to happen. Even in a quiet contemplative moment, it keeps you wondering, well, what's next for this particular character? How are they going to progress? How are they going to progress this character's particular dynamic or storyline within the next few moments? And of course, within that format, you can tell a good story, but there also are questions left lingering for the viewer long after. So I have a lot of questions, but still, it's one of those things that I look immensely forward, and I'm not sure when they're going to have another season, but we have been greenlit for season 2, so it's a sigh of relief collectively for all the Unicorn Warriors Eternal fans. I don't have that much else to say other than easily 2 thumbs up. No questions asked there. And that's about it for Unicorn Warriors Eternal. So until next time, live long and prosper, child guilty, and I'll catch you on the flip.